Alex the Workout Boy, and today I'll be showing you how to care for your baby Sulcata tortoise. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is what kind of substrate do you need and what all do you need for its enclosure. So let's get started. So this is my tortoise enclosure. I have it in a small little baby pool, but all I do is put some cypress mulch. I don't really like using cypress mulch, but it's the cheapest thing I found and I thought it'd be worth using it. Then I put some rocks, but I don't like leaving the rocks in the sun because then it gets hot and might burn them. So I'll put this half shade, half sun. Right now there's no shade, but I usually put the rocks in the shade side and then the mulch and the food dish on the sun side. I will usually change this log out because the log takes up too much room. So I usually would change the log out and change it with a little concrete block that I just broke from a big piece just to make it small. For his water dish, people always say you don't need water because they live in the desert, but their main job is to look for water, so that's why I put water in so they could stay hydrated and they don't get thirsty and die. The tortoise about 2 to 3 times a week for about 10 to 15 minutes, but if he makes a little poop, then I'll take him out, but if he doesn't poop, then I'll keep him in for 10 to 15 minutes. So, and depending on the size, for a baby, they need more humidity, so I'll keep them a little longer, but if you have a bigger tortoise, you wouldn't have to do it that often. So, just for about 10 to 15 minutes or until it poops. And when you keep your tortoise outside in just a little enclosure like this, and you're inside or something, you don't want to keep them like, you want something to go over so predators like birds, or if you live in the woods, you don't want like coyotes or foxes to get them. So you just want like chicken wire or a piece of board or something to put over that so predators don't get them. And when it comes to feeding your tortoise, tortoises love hibiscus flowers, dandelions, they love aloe vera. So what I'll do is just get scissors and I will trim a little of aloe vera off of a plant and just put it in his enclosure so he could eat some and stay healthy. So here's some aloe vera plants. This one's falling off, so I'll just get scissors and cut that and chop it in little pieces. So I'll just cut this off, chop it in little pieces, and I will feed it in his little food dish, and so he can eat it. He's already in his dish, so I'll just chop a little bit and feed to him. Alright, so chop in small pieces, like just chop. See, he's already eating it. Drop it on the shell, I'll back him up a little. See, I started feeding this to him like a day ago and he just loved it, so now I'm just gonna start feeding it to him and yeah. See, he likes it, so I'll give him a little bit more. And when you give them stuff like salad, like romaine lettuce especially, this aloe vera, you want to put it in like a dish, like kind of like this, so when he eats it, he rubs his beak on this and it trims his beak because you don't want his beak to be so long. So that's why I put it on a dish like this, and you can get it like at Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that, where it comes with Baba flower pot. So yeah. And just so tortoises have a lot of humidity, you want to spray their tank daily, just so, like if you don't have a water tank in it, you especially want to do this. But when you have a heat lamp over it, it dries, it makes it so dry, and you want this. But most people think they live in a desert, never gets rain, but that's not true. They're trying to look for water, rain, so that's why you want to just spray like this. I would kind of do the rocks too, just because they get hot a lot. So after you get it like this, well, you don't want it drenched where it's soaking wet. You just want it where it's wet, he got humidity. So after it's like that, it would be good. And you could stop spraying. So if you feed them like romaine lettuce, some types of lettuce, you sprinkle a little bit of calcium on it. It depends on how much you put. So if you put just a tad bit, you could do it like every day, but if you put a lot, mix it all together, you can put it like 2-3 times a week. And then sometimes when you got like your romaine lettuce, you could go to your local pet store and buy some tortoise pebbles. You could have the Missouri brand, you could have the Fluker's tortoise diet, but you just sprinkle a little bit of that too, just so they could be healthy. If you feed them, just say romaine lettuce. You don't want to feed them romaine lettuce every single day where he sticks with that same food, because it's like you want to try new foods each day, but a tortoise would have to just stick with romaine lettuce. So that's why you want to feed them like the Aloe Vera, Hibiscus. You can feed them romaine lettuce sometimes, but you just want to change it up as you feed them. And you think when you buy some lettuce, you just can buy any lettuce in the supermarket, but you don't want to buy iceberg. Iceberg is just full of water. It has 0% nutritional value. It's just filled with water. So if I was you, I would stick with romaine lettuce. It's just good for them. And I would sprinkle calcium in it, give them some tortoise pebbles, spray their tank each day, give them a soak every depends on how small the tortoise is. Like if your tortoise is this small, I would give them soak 2 to 3 times a week. It just depends on how big. And if it starts raining like really hard or just like even a light drizzle, I'll put this little tortoise enclosure inside under the patio so he doesn't get soaking wet. See, this is the hibiscus flower plant. They only have like one almost grown, but it's not fully grown yet. They got a little bit more, but I'll wait a month or so, and then some of them should be ready, and then I'll start feeding them off of this hibiscus. If I didn't say already, this block, when it's sunny outside, I'll take that out, because if the tortoise gets on this, he might get baked by the sun because it's so hot. So I'll just switch this out and put this in so it can have a little bit of shade and go in, and just so he don't get baked with the sun with that. Well, that covers everything about a Sulcata tortoise's care. If you learned something from this video, please leave a comment, and make sure you give this video a like and subscribe. And go check out more of my videos at Tito the Workout Boy. Bye.